Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Friends, this is the beginning of a dedicated series of videos on genomics and genomics alone. I'm planning to do that every end of the day so that the next morning you could have a look at it in case you're not tuning in for the live stream, which is focusing on AI plus everything else. So this is just for our genomics viewers because we are a genomics channel coming back to the roots. So with that said, I'm going to focus on a few genomic companies today, especially because there has been a trend change, or at least it looks like that. So the big question is, what does it mean to genomic shares and how are we going to handle this? So I'm going to share my thoughts with you. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. The word in the market basically is that Trump seems to have indicated that he's going to go light on tariffs, and the Liberation Day on April 2 would not be as bad as we thought, or at least that's the interpretation from the market. But I have been looking at all the news conferences, I have been searching for it, but I have never found, so far at least I haven't found any video where Trump is saying that he's going to be very selective and focused with the tariffs. In fact, right now what we are seeing out on the screen out here is that he's pledging auto pharma tariffs in near future and sowing more trade confusion. So this could not be right, because I think after observing Trump from term 1 and now in term 2, I think that Trump has a mind of his own and he doesn't listen to other people. He has a very clear idea what he wants to do, and he's going to be doggedly pursuing it until he personally gets convinced that that's not the thing to do, or he decides to do something else. So if any members from his cabinet come and talk about going easy on the tariffs and all, I don't think we can buy it. We should buy it only when we hear it from Trump himself, because Trump is the final word. And until Trump speaks, nothing is policy and nothing is law. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So I'm not convinced that the trend reversal has already happened. And we'll take a look at the TradingView platform and we'll look at all the key points that we need to cross in order to have a trend reversal. And I'll discuss those details out there. But I'm thinking that at any moment, all the sentiment can change, because basically if you just pull yourself back and look into this whole thing from a distance, you will see that this was an issue that was created out of nowhere. Like tariffs were a new invention. They were created out of nowhere to create confusion in the market. And because of the confusion, the market fell. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people around Trump who want to resuscitate the market. And how do you do that? You do that by saying, okay, the tariffs are not going to be as bad as you expect. And that's exactly what they did. We are just a tweet away or truth away from Trump, where the market can turn around and start going down again. So that's the way I'm looking at it. If you have a different opinion, of course, you are entitled to your own opinions. And as an investor, you have to follow your own thoughts and your own logic in order to invest. And we as retail investors in genomics, we have a problem. Genomic companies that we follow do not give out so much of information, and also not many analysts are covering it. So we have to help each other out and try to figure out what's happening with genomics. One thing I know for sure is that when there is a recession or stagflation, funds become very expensive. Therefore, venture capitalists will stay away from genomics. And also for genomics to raise an IPO, it's going to be very difficult, not IPO, I would say, to raise extra equity. It's going to be difficult. And even if they manage to do that, it will be at a very heavy cost, which means they'll have to issue more shares than they would have had to otherwise. And therefore, the equity dilution will be phenomenal. And startup genomic companies without monetized products are the ones which are going to be the casualty in this process, because we don't know if stagflation happens, how long it will last. It could take quite a while. And if it's just a recession, I think it's very quick and we can be out of it very fast as compared to stagflation. So between recession and stagflation, any day I would pick up recession. So having said that, let's look at the key factors at play and see if anything has changed. We already know that the Russia-Ukraine crisis is still going on. It has been going on for a while. Regardless of any attempt to broker peace, the conflict is still intact and alive. Israel-Palestinian war is again back on the table. And on top of all those things that we have bombing of the Houthis in Yemen. So that's a new conflict that has been created. And of course, then we have the other things like taking over Greenland. So Usha Vance is going there with some cabinet officials, and Greenland people are not that happy about it. Then, of course, taking Panama Canal over and making Canada the 51st state. All of these things are still going on. And in between all these, DOGE is going with a wrecking ball, knocking out a whole lot of federal government departments, and a lot of people are getting unemployed. Now, all the data that we have seen for employment and for GDP, everything does not include all those federal employees that have been removed from their jobs, and all the other companies which were supplying them with services and goods, which would have also closed down in the process or let go of their employee. The whole domino effect has not figured in. That could probably come into the data somewhere around June. And by then, I think it will be a bit too late. So I'm still thinking that nothing has materially changed. I would like to see a video or a broadcast where Trump comes out and says, you know what, I have a different idea. We are not doing tariffs anymore. And even if we are doing tariffs, it's only on 1 or 2 countries. And that's about it. And then I will see that the kind of boost we had today was warranted, but that has not happened. And this is me as a retail investor. I know as much as you guys do. I would like to have your comments. What do you think is happening out here? Do we have a real trend change, or maybe Trump will come back tomorrow and double down on the tariffs? He's already done that. I can see that here in the CNBC website page that we are looking at right now. So April 2 is not too far away. The moment of truth is approaching. And in my mind, if Trump was going to change his opinion, he will not do a week before that. He will wait for the last minute and then he will change it. So I think we are in for more surprises. If we are not, I would be happy. But at this point of time, I am not making any moves. So with that said, let's go and have a look at where all the tea leaves fell for today. So I'm going to go into the indicators and look at S&P 500, and I'm going to move into a one-day view and recalibrate the charts and get started with our analysis. So we are looking at the S&P 500. We have converted a resistance, the diagonal line of resistance, into a support. So this is a very strong jump. We have also converted the 20-day exponential into a support. This is super strong. However, we are still below this horizontal line of resistance, which is 5,779.09. If we are able to cross over that, then I think that we would have started a new bull channel. But for today, I would note that we have had a gap up. Gap ups, as you know, I've always said, gap ups act like magnet to pull us back down. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. And we are definitely creating a new bull channel, because earlier we just had higher lows, and for the first time we have got a higher high as well. So this is not insignificant. Our test tomorrow is going to be able to break 5779 and stay above that. Then this bull channel is confirmed, and then we are off to the races. That's my opinion, especially because we have already crossed the 200-day exponential. Now let's look at NASDAQ. In NASDAQ also, we have crossed this diagonal line of resistance of the bear channel. So I'm going to mark that green. So that's a big support. We have converted the 200-day and the 20-day exponential moving average, both of them into support. So that's a very good sign out here. And then the next resistance for us is going to be here. This is the diagonal line of resistance from the past, which we have to cross. And also we have got the 50-day, which is this light blue color, fluorescent blue color line, 50-day exponential moving average, and the 100-day exponential moving average, which are joined together, and they are overlapping with this diagonal line of resistance. So it's a very tight resistance out there, which is very difficult to handle. But again, out here, we have a higher high and a higher low. So we are definitely creating a bull channel. Now, in this case, even if we were to draw a diagonal line of resistance to connect all the points, I think we are already broken out of it a long time ago. So definitely we are getting into a bull channel, and we have had a good consolidation out here. So it's all looking good to me, but this is based on the premise that Trump is going to go easy on the tariffs. If anything comes to the contrary in tomorrow's news or day after tomorrow's news, expect all this to come back down, crashing down. That's the way I think it's going to play out. And if you look at VIX has become very tame. It has lost a lot today. It lost around close to 10%, and it's come below the 20%, which I think is always a moment of calm. So I'm pretty happy with the way things have turned out. It looks like a good foundation, but this is built on the news that tariffs are going to be very focused and not so disruptive as we originally thought. If that turns out to be false, then all bets are off. Dow Jones also broke through multiple lines of resistances. I'm going to convert them into support, and you can see we are across the 20-day exponential, we are above the 200-day exponential, and we have created two new horizontal lines of resistance to become support. And so that's a very good deal. Our next resistance happens to be on 42913.19. That's the level 42,913. So Dow Jones is well on the way. And also Russell Index also has broken across, and it has consolidated, and that has created higher highs and higher lows. So we are technically in a bull channel right now. And I think we just have to wait and keep our fingers crossed that Trump doesn't change his mind or contradict any of the news that we see out in the media, which is the reason why we are seeing all these jumps out here in the stock market. Put call ratio is looking pretty bullish to me. It's looking good. Now I would like to go directly to genomics. And in genomics, I want to look at CRISPR Therapeutics. So first we'll take a look at CRISPR Therapeutics, and as you can see, we have had a huge gap up today. I wouldn't say it's a huge gap up, it's a gap up, but still, even though it's not that big, it still is going to act as a magnet to pull the price back. That is one thing we have to remember. The other thing we have to remember is that our horizontal line of support out here, the minor line of support, now seems to be becoming stronger by the day because we have had multiple touch points and it is still holding. So this is going to be our support, and our resistance is very formidable. Today our resistance was at 42.84 along with the 20-day exponential, which is sitting at 42.88, just 4 cents apart. So it was a very strong resistance, and it pulled us down again and did not allow us to break through. Are we going to be able to do that tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see what happens. If no bad news comes tomorrow, I think we are going to use this as a support and then try to break up above the 20-day exponential and this horizontal line of support at 42.83, and our next resistance is going to be the 50-day exponential at 43.44. So at this point of time, CRISPR is looking good, but it needs to improve its MACD, and it also needs to improve the momentum. The momentum has been consolidating for a while, so there's a good foundation out here. Even with the stock price also, there's a good foundation out here. So it could very well jump up and start challenging all the resistances, and we'll take it day by day and we'll see how we progress. Next, I want to look at Illumina. Illumina is another company that is quite viable in this watch list. And as long as China doesn't say that it has removed Illumina from the blacklist, I think we are going to have this consolidation going on, and we are going to have reciprocal tariffs which are focused. Now, based on the outcome of the reciprocal tariffs that happen on 2nd of April, we will get an idea whether Illumina is going to be able to continue to sell in certain other countries, and that will give us an extent of damage that has happened to the market size for Illumina, because there is fundamentally nothing wrong with Illumina. Its products are top class. It has got a scalable platform. It has got a great installed base. It has got fantastic consumable supply going on a regular basis. Everything is great, and they're also partnered for AI. So they are doing all the right things. They are hived off GRAL. So that's also another good news, because that was weighing down on the company. So all those legal issues are gone. There is a new CEO, and he can focus 100% on Illumina. So everything, all the ingredients for creating a genomic blue chip is in place. The only problem is the tariffs and the blacklist from China. So let's see how it plays out. April 2 is not too far, and all this consolidation could be a very firm platform on which a foundation can be built to go upwards. So I'm hoping the best for Illumina. When I look at the MACD, it's looking absolutely good. It's very bullish. We had been oversold for quite a while and we stayed below, and this can't keep on happening for long. People are finding value in Illumina, and there is a lot of interest coming back into Illumina, especially after today's jump in the S&P and all the indices. There's a renewed optimism. So more money is coming into Illumina. And tomorrow, I would expect Illumina to challenge this huge area of supply and also the 20-day exponential, which is sitting at 89.91. So these are the two goals for Illumina for tomorrow. Next, I want to talk to you about Ginkgo Bioworks. Now, we generally do not do a cup and handle pattern for a very short period of time, but technically any duration above 15 minutes is okay. The reason why technical analysis using patterns is not done for 5 and 10 minutes chart is because there is a lot of noise in it. The longer the duration, the more accurate the pattern can be. So the chart pattern that I see here kind of resembles a cup and handle pattern. It's been formed over maybe a week or two, and therefore I would say that we can give this a benefit of doubt. And if I was to do target plotting from here to here, which happens to be the neckline, I'm going to just clone this and change the color so that we can see it distinctly, and then pull it up and put it on top here. So I'm looking at a target price of around 9.46 for Ginkgo Bioworks, and that takes it above the resistance of 9.35. So I would personally be satisfied if Ginkgo Bioworks touches 9.30. So I would say that tomorrow Ginkgo Bioworks is most likely to break this minor line of resistance that has been holding us down for a while and take on the 20-day exponential. And if it succeeded with the 20-day exponential, then we are going to stop just short of this resistance out here, because it's a very strong resistance at 935 along with the 50-day exponential at 9.40. But overall, I am thinking that if there is no reversal of this tariff news that we have, I think Ginkgo Bioworks can gain a lot of value. Right now it's at 770, and we are looking at least another $1.60 or so to gain per share on Ginkgo Bioworks. That's pretty sweet. So again, these are all my personal opinions and not financial advice. So guys, if it makes sense to you, think about it and do your own due diligence. And when I say tomorrow, I'm recording this on the 24th of March at around 10 p.m. So tomorrow is basically 25th, and so there you go. So with that clarification, I want to go to the next talk, which is GRAL. GRAL is looking sweet because MACD is improving. It still needs to become bullish, but it's improving, and momentum has picked up a lot today. And today we have broken out of the bear channel that was there with us before, and that bear channel was quite strong because we also had the 9-day exponential next to it, and we have broken through both of that, and we also converted the 50-day exponential into a support, and we have also been able to break out above a line of resistance out here, which was at 31.95, and we ended up at 32.13, just above that and below the 20-day exponential. And even the 20-day exponential we are able to pierce through. So GRAL is looking really good. Of course, in order for it to be a bull channel, we need higher lows and higher highs, which we have not yet formed. So the verdict is out on that, but it's looking good at this point of time. And if momentum picks up tomorrow, and if the tariff status quo remains the way the news is, I think GRAL has got the opportunity to pick up and put on some more value. Next, I'm looking at Altimmune, which is a share that I've been holding for a while. And it could be a bit of a wishful thinking, but I feel like we have a cup and handle here again, and probably we'll be able to break through this resistance tomorrow, resistance of 6.22, and maybe we'll be held back by the 50-day exponential at 6.33. That's my estimation, because this this area out here looks like the cup and this looks like the handle. I think we already broken out today. And up to how much can it go? Well, I'm going to take this out here and then clone it and pull it out from here. So we could go all the way to 6.94, assuming tariff status quo. With that said, let's look at the next one. The next one to talk about is IMTX. If I was to draw a line out here, this is the line of resistance. Let me keep it green, and I'll just increase the thickness so that you can see it in your smaller device. So this is the line of resistance, and we broke out of it. And if we were to look at this area out here and draw out a line to connect all the higher lows, then we have a bull channel coming up, and that's going to be support out here. And I'm thinking that IMTX probably is already broken out of the bear channel, and it is creating a new bull channel. So IMTX, I think, should do very well, because not only is the MACD bullish, but also we have the momentum above average. And with the news that we have had today, I would have expected that IMTX would have done better, but it remained flat. So tomorrow I'm hoping that if status quo remains, IMTX could pick up some value out here. And let us look at the next one. The next one to look at is Unicure. Now, in case of Unicure, I have a lot of bullish signs out here, which I would like to share with you guys. First of all, the price today has been able to jump almost 7.81% and break this diagonal line of resistance that we had from before. So that is the first bullish sign. The second bullish sign is that the MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average and picking up. That combination is the second bullish sign. The third bullish sign is that all the exponential moving averages are below the price at this point of time. And the fourth one, and the most interesting one, is this out here. So I'm thinking that we are looking at a reverse head and shoulder pattern for Unicure. And if I was to plot the price target for this one, I would say that I'll go all the way up to here, clone this, change the color, and pull this up as always and place it on top here. So I'm looking at a price target of around $20.02. Now, most of the times these patterns work out, but there are some times that they don't. So I think that's a good probability that we are going to reach this price target of around $20.40 at least for Unicure in the near term. And for that, what we need is we need to retest this line of resistance, which has now become a line of support, and then bounce back on top of that. So there will be a gradual move upwards. Right now the price is 14.77, and I'm thinking that we are going to get a jump of at least $5 per share. So there is a lot of money to be made out here. Again, assuming status quo with the tariffs the way we had it this morning, which led to the huge jump in the market. Well, friends, that brings me to an end of this video. And if you guys are actually looking for this video on a regular basis, please put a like out there and put it in the comment that, Raj, this is what we want from you. We don't want to see anything else. I'll make sure that I have this kind of video for you every trading day. I need to get some feedback because I'm not a professional content creator. I'm just a retail investor messing around with YouTube. And if you like these kind of videos, I'll make sure that I do it. So with that, my friends, I'd like to bring this video to an end. And if possible, please join me on the live stream in the morning at around 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time. I keep it short and I do a whole lot of AI shares and also genomics shares. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.